Hello, European Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. The message reads like this: How are you, my brother? I have my own story that I want you to share with the rest of the world. My father murdered my own brother, whom he had said was not his own son. I am a boy who is hurt by what my father did. He was saying that my mother was in love with his grandson. Growing up, I was worried why he thought that way. In the house where I was born, we were four, three boys and a girl, last born growing up. And our father was not someone who treated his children equally. He favored other children over others. I thought that maybe it was a matter of he had a girl child. It got so bad that when my brother made a very silly mistake, he was beaten so cruelly. My mother was used to crying, saying that you are hurting him. Why are you only beating him alone? You will cause kids to hate each other. Stop it. And for sure, anger grew in me. I kept asking myself why my dad did what he was doing. When I was finishing my high school, our mother sat us down and told us what had happened in the past. She said she took her sister's child to come and stay with them to work. Then she became pregnant whilst her sister's child was staying with them. As his grandson and uncles, they left him to sleep in the main bedroom, but my father felt uncomfortable to tell his grandson that this is not right, that he should look elsewhere to sleep, not where him and his wife were sleeping. If he gets seen by other relatives, what will they say? After a while, my mother was ill and she said to be pregnant with her second child. When my father was told that my mother was pregnant, he denied that pregnancy. He said my mother should go to the father of the child. My father kept on accusing my mother, saying that you are carrying another man's child. But because my mother knew the truth, she remained at her house. It is said that he had changed his behavior at home, even towards my mother. My mother was then forced to sleep in the kitchen, and she kept on staying throughout. My father never bought her anything, even underwear. He never bought her anything. When the child was born, my dad then told his relatives to come and to see if this child belonged to him. In meeting, my mother spoke her truth about the pregnancy, but my dad denied it and said that when this child grows up, he should go to his father. He was not going to stay at his house. The cousin that my parents used to live with was the one who was said to be the father of my mother's child, but they knew that it was just a lie, and the lie had worked. All of my father's relatives then said that my mother was just a prostitute. Everyone accepted and believed it. When my mother saw that there was no way out, she ended up apologizing so as to maintain peace in her house. But in her heart, she knew the truth. She said that they continued to live as husband and wife. Then she gave birth to me and my little sister. One day I remember that my brother was hit by my father by a burning piece of wood, and he got a very big scar. I was so sad. I asked myself, why would my father do something like that? But there was no one to ask. I started to hate my father so much because of the way that he was treating my brother. Growing up, me and my brother, we were so close. When I was finishing up my high school, I had so much confidence and I was not afraid of my father. One day, I confronted him with the way that he was treating my brother. I told my father, never ever beat my brother again. I asked him, what sin has my brother committed? Why do you treat him in such a way? What did he ever do to you to deserve this? You are hurting all of us. All of us, we are your kids. Why are you doing this? At that time, he had already chased my brother away from the house, saying that he had broke the window. My brother refused to go, but my dad was very angry with him. He then took his clothes and he burned all of his clothes, and we found them already burnt to ashes. Immediately, I knew that there was a problem. When we asked our mother, we were told all that had occurred, and from then on, we were very careful. But my father did not stop. He seemed as if he had been possessed by a real evil spirit. One day, my brother ran away from us so that we wouldn't see him, since we were supposed to walk together. He met our father on the road and they talked to each other. My father lied that he was on his way home, but he wasn't going home. He took another road that was going where my brother was going, but my father was holding a machete. I could see all of this, but he didn't know that I was watching him. My brother was looking to the other side, and my dad came from behind and he cut him with that machete that he had in his hands on his neck, and my brother fell. He finished cutting him off with a knife. After my father had finished cutting him into parts, he gave those parts to another guy who was in a black car. He was given some money and he returned home, whilst I was left behind in shock. Thinking that my brother was no more, how was I supposed to tell my mother? When I got home, I didn't talk to him. I just closed myself in my room until the evening, when I was called and I heard my father saying that my brother had gone with me and my brother was planning to kill me. My tears started falling, thinking, why did God give me such a father? I was so angry that I wanted to fight my father. I wanted to kill him. I even thought of even killing myself too. All the years that I have lived and experienced, I have never been able to take anything from my dad. There was another day when I saw my father trying to burn the house whilst my mother was inside. But when I coughed a bit, my father then looked and saw that I had seen him. When my father saw that I had seen him, he ran away and pretended as if he didn't want to burn the house, but I had seen everything that he was trying to do. All that my father did after that, he said to me, it was my mother who killed my brother by sending him to go fetch firewood. Maybe that is where my brother was eaten by wild animals. This happened to me 15 years ago, Brother Nashi. Since then, my father is always abusing my mother, saying that my mother is the real killer. Yet I know that my father is the one who did this. What should I do, my brother? Because the last time I hit my dad with a brick, I was so angry with him because of what he did to my mother. How can I control this anger? Brother Nashi, please help me. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Truly speaking, this young man is living in a toxic environment. The father is a toxic man. He is saying that he is afraid to come out into the public. Please let us speak with him in the comment section.